Mindful Life Practice community.
All right. So we're going to come into a seated shape. To start, you can be crisscross or on your knees. Just lengthen up through your spine. I realized I didn't mute you guys. I was like, I feel like I missed something. I spotlighted and hit record, but I didn't mute. There we go. Okay. Lengthen up through your spine, close the eyes, and soften through the shoulders. And take deep breaths in and out. And as you breathe in and out, can you just allow your breath to anchor you to this moment? Just letting go of any of your worries, any of your thoughts, anything that's on your mind, and just focusing on being here now. If you have an intention for your practice, feel free to establish it now. I was listening to a podcast episode this morning with one of my teachers, and he said that the Buddha was asked, what's the most important part of the spiritual practice? And he said, spiritual friendship. And I love that because I feel like that's one of the best things of this community is that we're all kind of doing this together. Take one more breath, seated as you are. And we're just going to warm up our body before we drop into our yin. So maybe we can sweep our arms up towards the sky, interlacing the palms, lifting them up overhead, and then reaching them over to the right. So you're stretching through the left side body. And then come all the way up, lift your arms up, and then lateral side bend over to the left. And then we'll lift all the way up, release the grip, take a big inhale, and then rotate over the right shoulder, land the left palm on the right thigh, gaze over the right shoulder for a few breaths. And then come all the way up through center, lift through the arms, and then rotate the opposite way. And then we'll lift our arms all the way up, taking our palms to heart center. And then let's do a little bit of a neck stretch. We're not going to stay here forever, but just for a moment because it feels like it's necessary. So drop your right earlobe down towards your right shoulder. And then if you want to, place your right palm on the side of the skull and then just stretch through the traps muscle, go for it. And maybe you lift the arm to the side, flicking at the wrist. And let's just stay for 5 more breaths. Then we'll take our head all the way up. And then we're just going to switch it the opposite way. So we're going to drop the left earlobe down towards the shoulder, land the left palm on the side of the skull. Just give it 5 more breaths. And then you'll take the head all the way back up through center. And then you can rock your chin from side to side. And then we'll just bring the head all the way back up. Coming onto your hands and your knees, so coming into a tabletop. And then we'll just do a few cat-cows, curling at the spine. And then eventually you're going to come all the way into a neutral. Leave your left palm where it is. Lift your right arm all the way up so you're rotating. Nice. And then we're going to thread the right arm underneath the left, and we're going to stay here for 2 minutes, landing onto the right cheek. And then if you want to lift your arm up and wrap it around, go for it. Noticing how it feels within your body. Maybe taking about 5 more breaths. Then we're gonna come all the way back up, planting through the left palm, planting through the right palm. And then we'll come through the opposite way. So lift your left arm all the way up, big breath in. And then thread your left arm under, landing onto the left cheek, the left shoulder, maybe weaving the arm around, tucking it near the hip. Notice how different this side feels compared to the other. Take a few more rounds of breath. And then can you slowly unwind at the palms, lifting all the way back up, coming all the way back to your table. And then let's just take our knees wide and our toes together, and then sit the hips back on the heels and rest the forehead. So there's this quote I love that I shared on the weekend. It was, there came a time when the risk to remain tight in a bud was more painful than the risk it took to blossom. It feels like over and over again in my life, I've come to this crossroads like more than once, where I just want to stay tight in this little bud. Just kind of afraid of what's next. I'm learning how to kind of overcome that, taking that risk to blossom. I think many of us in these uncertain times probably feel it as well. Take another breath in our child's pose. And then we're going to slowly start to just lift up again. Coming all the way forward onto the belly, we're going to do another shoulder opener. I'm so inspired, all the shoulder opening. So you're going to open your right arm to the side. And then you're just going to start to roll over so that, I don't know if you guys can see what I'm doing exactly. Let me show it on the other side. So I have my arm extended straight out, and then I'm just rolling towards the side, landing on the toes. Nice, and this pose is actually called broken wing. Allow the inside of your shoulder to just kind of stretch out. We'll just be here for like a minute longer. If you're getting uncomfortable, know that this will pass. And then you're just going to slowly unwind. You can shuffle your body back to the middle of the mat and then just give yourself a moment to just lie in neutral, maybe arms stacking, side of the head resting, just breathing your body. Then we'll come the opposite way. So extend the opposite arm, whichever side you haven't done, slowly start to roll. Let's take about 5 more breaths. And then roll all the way over. Just bringing the arms back, resting a cheek. Taking neutral. And then we're going to finish our last pose with a waterfall or a legs up the wall. So if you are near to a wall, you're just going to shuffle your hips alongside the wall and lift your legs up and just prop them on the wall. And you could also just have your legs extended up towards the sky if you're not near a wall. So this pose in particular is, Erin always does it at the start of her yin class as like the appetizer for yoga, and I always do it as like the dessert at the end. I think it's the nicest way to end a class. The blood flow goes back to the back body and back to the brain, which kind of calms you down. Helps you feel grounded. Now, if you want to stay here for your final resting pose, for your Shavasana, go for it. Or if you want to come up into a seated meditation or a full Shavasana, go for it as well. Choosing any pose that is restorative for you and almost like a container. I have a poem that I want to share with you. The poem is called She Let Go. She let go. Without a thought or a word, she let go. She let go of the fear. She let go of the judgments. She let go of the confluence of opinions swarming around her head. She let go of the committee of indecision within her. She let go of all of the right reasons. Wholly and completely, without hesitation or worry, she just let go. She didn't ask anyone for their advice. She didn't read a book on how to let go. She didn't research the scriptures. She just let go. She let go of all of the memories that held her back. She let go of all of the anxiety that kept her from moving forward. She let go of the planning and all the calculations about how to do it just right. She didn't promise to let go. She didn't journal about it. She didn't write the projected date in her day timer. She made no public announcement and put no ad in the paper. She didn't check the weather report or read her daily horoscope. She just let go. She didn't analyze whether she should let go. She didn't call her friends to discuss the matter. She didn't do a 5-step treatment. She didn't call the prayer line. She didn't utter one word. She just let go. There was no one around when it happened. There was no applause or congratulations. No one thanked her or praised her. No one noticed a thing. Like a leaf falling from a tree, She just let go. There was no effort. There was no struggle. It wasn't good and it wasn't bad. It was what it was, and it is just that. And in the space of letting go, she let it all be. Small smile came over her face. A light breeze blew through her. And the sun and the moon shone forevermore. Start to wiggle your body, stretching through fingers and toes. If you're on your back, curling your knees into your chest, giving your body a little hug. And then eventually coming all the way up to a seated shape with your palms at your heart center. Closing with our intention. So that our practice remain steady and our efforts remain continuous. And that our yoga serves and benefits all beings everywhere. May all beings be safe and happy and healthy and free. May the thoughts and actions of each of our lives contribute towards this. And so we're going to finish with an Om sound, and we'll inhale, exhale. Inhale through to make the Om. So take a big breath in. Big breath out. Big breath in. Thank you so much for sharing this space and the practice, the light in me. It sees and it honors the light in you. Namaste. Thank you for joining me, yogis. Stop the recording.